We begin tonight with a developing story out of Fort Stockton, where a massive motel fire continues to burn after it sparked 6 hours ago.
Here's a live look at that fire at the Swiss Clock Inn located at 3201 West Dickinson Boulevard. New tonight at 10 o'clock, Odessa police are working the scene of a fatal motorcycle crash. Officers were called out to Kenwood and Candy Lane.
New tonight at 10 o'clock, the Ector County Commissioners have approved funding a 6-year project.
With your eye on education, the final results for the tax test are in for both Midland and Ector County Independent School Districts tonight.
The fire that destroyed a local business is now being investigated as arson.
Here's a quick look at some stories making headlines tonight. An apartment fire leaves 12 people in Odessa without a home. It happened around...
We begin tonight at 6 o'clock with a developing story out of Midland County. Deputies are investigating a gruesome murder that left one man dead and one woman fighting for her life. My partner Jay Hendricks is live at the scene of the crime. He joins us now with the latest on this story. Jay?
Tatum, good evening. We're about 3 miles south of Midland off County Road 1210. We're on an oil field lease road. This is 1210, by the way, is Midkiff Road, so you know about where we are. This is where Midland County Sheriff's Department says the murder took place. 25-year-old Christopher Aaron Easley's body was found behind this oil field equipment you see behind me. His girlfriend was also left here for dead, but she somehow survived.
Good evening, everyone. Emergency crews are on the scene right now of a fatal shooting in Odessa. Police were called out about 8:30 tonight to the Clayton Manor Apartments. You're looking at live video right there of the scene. You can see a heavy police presence.
We're going to interrupt your basketball game. We want to get you updated on a lot of breaking news going on right now. We've got some major fires all across West Texas. We've had one fatality in a grass fire that led to a 7-car crash. Right now we're joined by the volunteer fire chief from Howard County, Tommy Sullivan, who's joining us on the phone. Tommy.
That crash, they believe that the grass fire initially began and that it caused visibility to be so bad on the interstate that one car pulled over because they couldn't see to drive, and that's where that chain reaction pileup began that led to the death of one child. One of the things we've seen as we've covered these weeks and weeks and weeks of grass fires, they are typically out in very rural areas. This is the first time in a while that I remember covering these fires where the homes are in the foreground, where you can literally see where the path of this fire is possibly going to take over what looks like an entire neighborhood. My partner Jay Hendricks joins us now live from Fort Davis with more on how the community is moving on. Jay?
Tatum, good evening. We're coming to you live from here in Fort Davis. It's another cloudy day. In fact, there have been some sprinkles. There was a rain shower just to our west. It looks like it's coming back through, and that's been a welcome sight for the folks who live here in Fort Davis. Here's a look at exactly what a family goes through when they lose everything.
On April 9th, this is the image that captured headlines. A massive fire in South Midland burning out of control.
Look at that, Jay. Look, it is growing before our eyes.
1 month later, this is the reality. Dozens of families left with nothing.
So what was this?
This was a house.
Joe and Lupe Valadez lost everything in the fire.
Tens of thousands of Texans lost their homes in wildfires this summer all across the state, and some West Texans, unfortunately, are still trying to pick up the pieces.
One Odessan was one of those and has only the clothes on his back, a vehicle, and a drum kit. For the first time ever, is homeless.
Byron Smith is a native Odessan. He now lives in the Austin area. He was here last week with his band, The Pictures. He says it was nice to return home and get his mind off this.
71 and 150 loop.
The Bastrop fire.
For the past 4 years, there have been questions about how exactly 3 Odessa police officers were killed while responding to a domestic disturbance call.
Were they aware the alleged gunman, Larry White, had a violent past? And did they know that there was weapons? Tonight, an Odessa American CBS 7 exclusive report, which shows the chilling last moments before 3 lives were lost in the line of duty.
Corporal Arlie Jones is next to arrive, and we get the first confirmation of the impending danger.
What if it's a shotgun?
The intensity spikes.
Recorder start running all information on Larry White.
Then at 6:31,
Shots fired!
Corporal Marquez is hit.
Continuing coverage on the 82nd legislative session in Austin. Today, a local family that understands the dangers of texting while driving testified before lawmakers at the state capitol. My partner Jay Hendricks joins us now live from Austin with more on today's emotional hearing. Jay?
Good evening. We're coming to you live from outside the state capitol in Austin, where tomorrow will be a busy day for the Brown family. They are here from Seagraves, Texas. They've been here actually since Friday of last week, visiting with with various schools talking about their daughter, Alex Brown, who was killed in a texting while driving crash. A DPS trooper has been shot in the shoulder. We know perhaps one other person shot as well in this chase. Also, still very active at 1053 and I-20, which is the Fort Stockton turnoff. We're not sure if it is related to this particular case at this time.
That's where Bo Berman is now. He is gathering information, talking to people on the scene, trying to figure out if there is a connection between.
After 4 decades of dreaming,
it will provide opportunities that people I don't think could even imagine.
And almost 3 years of construction.
It's a very specialized type of facility.
The new Wagner Noel Performing Arts Center is here in all its splendor.
It is truly state-of-the-art, and it just takes my breath away.
It's the perfect storm of cooperation, beginning with local lawmakers who understood how important this would be for West Texas.
Shelley, good morning. It was an early start here for firefighters from all across Texas as they took part in the first ever 9/11 Memorial Climb. This building you see behind me is the Renaissance Tower, 55 stories.
Dozens of volunteers sort and stack food at a warehouse in Odessa. Each care package includes a carefully crafted menu, a balance of protein, carbohydrates, and other nutritious foods.
The U.S. Department of Education has released a report that shows a large percentage of students have to take at least one remedial course when they go to college.
The findings raise questions about whether our students are prepared for college. As CBS 7's Robert Guadarrama explains, local educators say they recognize this is a problem and are working to address it. Some weeks I meet a Sunday's child and a song just instantly pops in my head. This is one of those weeks, and I think 4-year-old Tyshawn fits the lyrics perfectly.
Have you ever seen anything so cute in your life? Tyshawn is a sharp-dressed man in his pint-sized suit and vest and tie, and his personality matches his flashy duds. This kid is smart and happy, and even though it's hard to express yourself as a preschooler, his facial expressions say it all.
Do you feel pretty special in your fancy clothes? Do you think you look good today?
As we walk through the pet store, we examine all the critters.
Nice or mean? Yes, I think that's mean too.
Tyshawn has been in foster care since he was an infant. Still, he is resilient and will be a perfect addition to the lucky family who gets to adopt him.
If this law goes into effect, it would have a huge impact on job applicants. For many of them, health care benefits can be a deciding factor when it comes to accepting a job.
It will also impact small businesses because finding an affordable way to provide insurance isn't easy. CBS 7's Shannon Murray explains how a new initiative in West Texas hopes to take the burden off of those businesses. Despite an aggressive public awareness campaign, some West Texans do not believe there is a severe water shortage. Continuing our team coverage tonight, CBS 7's Jennifer Sant talks with residents to get their reaction to the cutbacks.
If you had to name the most crushing issues our young people face, what would they be? Drugs, teen pregnancy, peer pressure? These are very real problems, but when you break it down, they may all stem from 3 basic challenges. Illiteracy is an educational buzzword that sometimes loses its punch.
As the sun went down tonight, so did the temperatures.
If you've been out there, you know it's definitely gotten much cooler. Let's check in right now with Weather Director Craig Stewart for a look at what's happening outside right now and also what we can expect in the morning, and that's going to be a big change. Craig?
Yeah, JT.
All in your pledge, as Craig said, of $50 or more, you're going to get in for that Apple iPad too. Also in for that Southwest gift card. James Thomas, Karen Thomas called $100. Karina Navarrete called with a $100 pledge.
We want to thank Billy Sims Trailer Town for their $100 pledge. Mr. and Mrs. Tom Pace, thank you for your $50 pledge. And Mr. Thomas Blackstone, $100. Thanks so much. 1 minute and 47 seconds. Craig. We are so glad that you are still with us for the 2011 Permian Basin Rehabilitation Center Telethon. We've raised lots of money,
Yes, we have.
but it's not enough yet. We've given away lots of prizes, but it's not enough yet.
But we're not done, no.
And we've told you a lot of great stories, but we've really just touched the surface.